Hi friends, welcome to the Shits and Gigs podcast where we keep the vibe high, the humor gets raunchy, and things get spicy when we talk about food. We are here tonight for a special episode of Bath Bombz where I am here connecting with all of you while I am typically quite literally in my bathtub, but I gotta be honest guys, it's been weeks. I miss my bath. We've been so crazy, so I've just been squeezing in these fun weekly episodes in the nooks and crannies of the chaos, which has still been so fun for me, and it kind of provides that creative outlet and just that like one-on-one time with yourself. Everyone needs a little bit of that in their life, whether it be taking a bath or going for a walk, throwing in some headphones and tuning out the world, whatever you gotta do to give yourself some peace every single day. Guys, it's gonna get weird tonight. I had this really cool universal, wink last week where I received a tarot reading, totally virtual and random, and like the lady wasn't even talking to me, but essentially she posts these tarot cards once a week. I never notice her posts because it's not in my probably just not in my algorithm. But I saw it that day and I was like called, or I had that like gut feeling to just like pick the 3 cards. And the reading that I got was like really cool and aligned, and I basically figured out I'm not being weird enough on here. Total transparency, I'm a weirdo, and so you're going to see a whole lot of that, and what better way to dive into some weirdness than talking about poop, babies, and the moon. I have had a lot of like deep reflections lately about just everything, man, and it's really crazy when you open up your mind to how the hell we are here, and it's so interesting to think about. So let's dive in. We're going to think big picture, and let's just start off like we are just a grain of sand in this whole grand scheme of things, this whole universe. We're just like literally a grain of sand, but like we're also like a whole entire person. So like that's wild to wrap your head around. Guys, I'm telling you, it's gonna get crazy, get wild. Oh boy, we're really diving into my personality here. I'm just being full authentic me here. All right, and let's go into our first topic of the night, poop. Have you ever really thought about how you eat anything, and no matter what it is, whether it be a burger or a salad, it comes out exactly the same? And this all happens because that burger or whatever you eat condenses and is broken down while traveling through literally miles of soft, smushy insides. So, like, how does that happen? And it's just, yeah, I think we're just going to leave it there because that can get, it's too big to think about sometimes. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, like, but if you really think about even the simplest thing and, like, how it exists, like that is very overwhelming to think about sometimes, because I feel like we don't know shit is where I'm going with all of this. Like I feel like we are so unaware of how we're here and how all of this is possible, so we just like stay numb to it, and it's like crazy to think about. Topic number 2 for the night, babies. So have you ever really thought about how babies are, so this is like completely dumbed down verbiage here, but babies are essentially a completely normal thing that happens because obviously we see like humans reproduce and pretty much anything reproduces, so like having babies is completely normal, or some type of offspring is completely normal, and it's just this like physiological bond between 2 things we can't even see, and that implants itself into a female being. And then this reaction then embarks on this magical journey where it starts as like a poppy seed and then turns into this like living, breathing thing. It's just wild. And then if and when you ever have the opportunity to parent, this new being or person or whatever you consider it enters your life, and you watch it literally evolutionize in front of you. It is like the craziest experience. And I don't think people think about that enough. So I'm challenging you to think big picture. Like, give yourself 30 minutes a week, whether it be 5 minutes a day or whatever, to think big picture, because it humbles you real quick. You're like, my running out of toothpaste this morning was not my biggest issue in this world, or it's not relevant compared to everything that we don't consider. All right, last hot topic of the night. Let's talk about the moon. So last week, my husband and I, we go out in the garage at night once we get Cammy down and we're showered and everything. And we hang out, we play darts, we smoke a J, we listen to some music, and I like to leave the door open just for fresh air and I can look at the moon and stuff. And the other night, it was really cool. The moon, it was like, last week was super cloudy. So every night, the clouds were kind of like moving past the moon really fast, and it just looked really fascinating. And I just happened to look at the moon and felt the urge to like think deeper about it. And the moon is also crazy. Like, what? Have you ever really looked at the moon and thought about how far it is and how we are just all floating on this orb in space? Like, are you kidding me? And the fact that there are 8 to 9 planets, whatever you believe, somehow all levitating and revolving around in a synergetic way around this giant ball of gas that is just like on fire. And there's thousands, potentially more than that, I don't know, of these galaxies out there, light years away. Who even discovered and considered a light year? Like, what the fuck is that? What? What is a light year? I can barely keep track of normal years, like calendar years. What is a light year, and how do people care or know about it? Have you thought about it? Like, what? Anyways, just some things that have been on my mind lately, and just showing up fully, authentically as me with this convo, and I hope it was fun. I had a good time, and I am already thinking bigger for the day ahead because of this conversation with basically myself, but I know there's a couple of you out there that have been listening, so thank you. And if you're intrigued and want to continue to think big picture some more, I 10 out of 10 recommend watching Joe Rogan's episode number 2152. Clap it up for Joe Rogan. Over 2,000 episodes. That's serious dedication. If there was one thing that I learned right off the bat with starting a podcast, everyone says consistency is everything. So thank you for listening. I have fun continuing to show up for you guys, and definitely check out that episode. It's with Terrence Howard, who a lot of us would probably recognize as an actor, but he is a total genius, and I'm only 20 minutes in because your girl fell asleep on the couch after that. But I'm really excited to listen to the rest of the episode because it is crazy. He like redefines the periodic table in this way you can only understand by watching it, honestly. And then there's some crazy other stuff that's supposed to unfold according to my husband, and I cannot wait to listen. So thanks again for tuning in tonight. I hope you guys had fun and you learned some real cool shit. Make sure you spell that with 2 I's. All right, guys, toodles. Thanks for listening.